Finally. 1 diamond. I have no shield, 19 arrows, 18 fish, and 122 blocks before my pickaxe breaks. I do not want to leave this cave with anything less than 12 diamonds. And we are 1 down. Why don't we be cheeky and look at the map? What does the map show? Map shows many things. Map shows this big thing over here. So, taking a gamble on digging through because the map says something might be this way. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A full 8 block. This is what I was aiming for on the map. This massive cavern. It says we're in the birch forest, so if we pillar up, we could be able to find a way down to this. I almost want to do something with this area rather than leave it. This is a big open chasm. This is a really nice area. The continent provides more stunning landscapes for us to use on our big creative projects. If I loop back round, get back over that area, and we'll try and find a way out of here so that I can keep this location. Now run. I don't have time to deal with that. Now how do I get out of here? According to the map, the block I'm on is birch forest, the next block is beach, the next block is also beach, then ocean. So probably somewhere up against this wall. Vertical staircase makes the most sense. I have some concerns about the safety of this staircase. OSHA would not be happy with this staircase. Ooh, need handrails. That's it. That's the surface. That's the way out. Gotta follow the path. And we are home safe. Oh, since this is nearly dead, we may just add it to the rack. This is now looking a lot more full. Almost all of these tools are broken, about to be destroyed, so it's helpful just to have it all there. And I'm immediately going to take 3 of these diamonds and make a new pickaxe. Now, although that has been a rather productive mining adventure, there's still several issues facing us that need to be sorted here and now, today. Point number 1 is food. I have 12 fish. That's not enough. That's not enough fish. That's not enough food. So step 1, we need a food solution. Step 2, I'm still on normal armor, normal tools, no enchantments. I have an enchanting table. And so the second thing today is to make a building to house our enchantment table. But before we get into things today, something strange has happened. Over here there's just this button. I don't know why, I get this feeling that 90% of people haven't pressed it. In terms of the food solution, I need to make a farm. But you see, when I say farm, I don't mean that we need a redstone automated thing. We're going to move over into the birch forest. But for now, I just need to get started with chopping down some trees. We now have a good sized area to work with. You can see I've also laid out the pathway with the cobblestone and used the diorite to lay out where the edge of the farmland is going to be. That way I can actually bring the forest sort of back in and not have everything destroyed. You know, hopefully I'll go one of these episodes without some amount of deforestation. Now over on this side I have done a little bit of work trying to kind of lessen the gradient on the hillside, trying to flatten it out a little bit, because I think that'll make the farm itself look nicer if it's just on a slower decline. But we have some more of that tinkering to do over here. See, this hill here is just a bit too steep, so I'm going to need to tinker with it and maybe make it sort of more like that bit there. So probably starting at about back here. For the most part I'm just adding to it. Yeah, this looks better. Naturally, since this is going to be a functional farm, I need to be able to walk along it without constantly jumping up and down all over the place. I've done little bits of terraforming here and there, but I'm still kind of getting used to it. Other people do it better. It's just experimentation, tinkering with things, seeing what looks right. That looks pretty nice, I think. I think that's a much better change than it was before. All we've done is add blocks to make it more of a shallower hill. So the next thing to do is to find a spot for a barn. And I was thinking up here. With Lightmatica back, I can now use this to load in the schematic I need. This, I feel like, will be a good placement for it. It's a decent sized barn, it's very large. And that's mainly just so I've got an ample amount of space for if I decide to put animals in there, if I decide to put storage in there. Don't quite know what I'm going to use the barn for. I'll figure that out once I've built it. So now that we have the barn, the next thing to do is actually lay out the pathways and get all of the wheat in. and I thought I would just do this just casually. That way my train of thought can just continue and we'll just see what happens. Because in the last video, I didn't quite show my idea for how this path lays out. You see, it's not fully like textured. There is a purpose to it. You see, the middle is all coarse dirt. We got rooted dirt just at the sides, and then the cobblestone layer. And I think this layer of texturing works quite well. Now, first things first, we're probably going to want to expand this actual dirt layer and let it all grow back into the grass. There we go. That's much better. And then it's just digging up the path. I'm trying to follow my cobblestone bits from before. So there you can see I've cut out a rough line. Now if I fill it in, I'll have more of an idea about how it looks. And then just when I get to the end there, we just need a few slabs like that. And then that's where the path would then start again. With any sort of job like this that's going to result in me doing texturing work, I prefer to just kind of get everything laid in first. I find it easier to see the whole thing before I then do the texturing. Now this is where we probably need to eat into the land a little bit. Because if we make them coarse dirt, we need to actually punch this back a little bit. Would say it's a bit of a harsh angle coming round here. Moving up the hill looks okay. And it's probably a bit of a sharp corner there. And then we just kind of bring it back round to the barn. It's very easy to see though that plans, although they look good, completely get thrown out the window because this path has not followed the cobblestone in any way. Well, I'll stop there. I'll need to split it off so that something can go over there. Don't know what I'm putting over there. Don't think anything will go over there. But I might put something there. And if I put something there, I'll need a way to get to there. Now the next thing to do is to get some rooted dirt and to do a bit of texturing. I'm not going to do the same texturing with the cobblestone because I feel like I'm going to be putting hedgerows along here. I feel like hedgerows would work better, but we can still do the rooted dirt, give it a bit of texturing. So the key thing I've been doing with the rooted dirt is going just on the edge, around the edge where it would meet the cobblestone. The idea being that the middle is going to be the more travelled part, that's why it's darker, it's more well worn. The edge with the rooted dirt is where life's coming through because there's not many people stepping on it. And that's already made quite the change. I could nitpick, I could say that this area looks a bit too wide, that area could be too narrow, but we're not looking for specifics, we're looking for the whole picture. And at the end of the day, the picture looks nice. When it comes to the natural design of things, I could tinker all day. I could be here for hours trying to get everything perfect, trying to get everything looking exactly how I want it, exactly how I've pictured it. But at some point you just kind of have to be a bit hands off. You have to say, right, that's as good as I can manage it. There's a quote I remember reading once, which was that roads form where people walk. What that means is that you can plan out where a route's going to go, but people often take the shortest possible route between 2 points. The path needs to be the shortest possible point, because otherwise people would skip it. Naturally, when it comes down to it, the habits of how people operate in the real world don't necessarily apply to Minecraft. That is now the rooted dirt all in place, and the change is immediate. The rooted dirt just does a lot for texturing this path. Now that we have this in place, we can actually get to work putting in all of the wheat. this is it. This is the farm. And I have to say, I am very happy with how this is turning out. It's such a big area. Now, I haven't got enough seeds to fill it all in, but this section here and most of the section at the back has all been filled in. And also, I can't get over how good the view is of the Enchanted Forest from here. Once that is thicker, denser, it's going to look really, really nice. The other good thing about this farm is because there's so much wheat, even with what I've already got, by the time I've planted the last seed, the first seed I planted has already grown. It's also a completely different vibe to the Enchanted Forest that so far is dark. I've not put any lights anywhere, but the Dark Enchanted Forest is going to be dark and mysterious. This is glowing. There are torches everywhere. When it gets to nighttime, this place will be lit up. Hence I've started calling it the Golden Hills because of its golden glow. Pretty sure both of those are locations in Skyrim. So back here in my storage system in the food chest, I have, what is that? That's over 4 stacks of hay bales. I started with 10 pieces of wheat and a couple of bales. The food situation is well and truly resolved. I am now good for food. No more apples, no more going in the river to kill fish. We have bread for days. And so it's now time to take a trip through the Enchanted Forest, because the next project is going to be in this direction. But over here you can see that the trees are a little bit higher. There's a bit of a hill. This is going to be the area for our enchanting setup, which will be in the form of an enchanted tower. But with the enchanted tower, I'm going to be doing something different with the texturing as compared to the starter base. So let's get right into building. Now the schematic actually calls for soul sand and a magma block for bubble elevators. I don't have those resources yet, so we're just going to use a ladder for now. So as you can see with this little bit that we've already built, the main structure of this tower will be using stone bricks and smooth stone. There won't be any gradient with this tower. I'm not planning on doing a gradient. Instead, the texturing detail I'm going to be doing is involving damage, wear and tear, that sort of thing. So after building a little bit more, the first example of damage has taken shape, that being moss. Like I've used moss and vines on the survival house to show it kind of spreading up the house itself. And here it's a bit more destructive. It's a bit more destructive in that the moss has actually gone into the brick itself. There will be a lot of moss used throughout all of my builds. It is single-handedly the best block that's ever existed in Minecraft. And this is the other type of damage that's going to be appearing on this build. By using tough walls, it kind of indents it a bit, as if to say that not only has the brick weathered away, but it's fallen off. And I'm mixing in tough cobblestone, tough bricks. I've not used those yet. Those are brand new blocks to me, but they look like they're working well. And it adds a little bit of darkness and contrast between where the damage is. Equally, you can see how the windows are taking effect, just being something simple, just wooden fences. And so no glass needed, essentially. And you can already see here as well, the moss beginning to grow around the tower. I've used some of the blocks very subtly, just to kind of indicate direction of the moss. Things are really beginning to take shape now, especially with this bit of damage here mixing in with this bit of moss here. And then on this side you can see how the moss just grows from one area to the next. I actually spent a long time looking at source material, looking at reference images. I wanted to go with some very kind of old-fashioned, castle-y, medieval-y type structure, not your fantasy wizard tower sort of stuff. I reckon I can go through the night. I am that high up, nothing should be able to spawn in. I can swap a torch into my offhand in order to be able to see. I really hope nothing ends up coming to get me. That would be really annoying. Oh, something's going on down there. Trader looks like he's panicking a little. What was that? Oh, lots of things this morning. Oh, they're spitting at something. I can't actually hear the attack, so I must be quite far away. I think the llamas are winning, I'll be honest. Oh, the zombie that turned the tide though. Oh, the zombies killed one. And they've gone. We don't need to see the rest of that. Is that the sunrise? That looks like it's the sunrise. Let's watch the sunrise. We have managed to get a lot of progress by working through the night. And that is, I think, the first time I've actually worked outside through the night. But that just emphasizes the necessity for enchantments, for the diamonds, for the food. And there is the morning sun. But we still have more work yet to do. It's still going. This is going to be one tall tower. Ah! A floor. We are nearly at the top. So these two gaps will be the top of the bubble elevators. But until we can get our hands on some soul sand, means going to the nether. Don't want to go to the nether. Until then, ladders. The moon has risen, and the tower is complete. The only thing left to do is to place down the enchanting table. And then watch the magic happen. And then if I go in here and put something in, level 30 is available. I'm only level 18, I have died several times. You didn't have to see that, I've cut that out. So I finished putting everything away. Let's go and have a look at the tower. Let's go and walk up to it in the daytime. Oh, I see it poking through the trees already. Look at that. Not you. Look at that. With the fog I've got on, that looks really nice. That looks really good. I'm so happy with this. And I have to say, from this distance, the detailing work I've done with the damage and the moss is working perfectly. I think it's blending together very well. I think it's giving the effect I want. And it is exactly as I hoped. From the tower you can see the house and the barn. And from both of those places you can see this tower. Let's go to the barn. Let's see what it looks like from the barn. Oh wow. I know it's such a small build, but it does look so good. This world is coming together so nicely. I am very happy with this continent. I am very happy with this series and these builds. And I hope people are learning stuff from them as well.